It's a pleasure welcoming you to this political rumbles here in Wave TV. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be watching us. Here is Koche to discuss about the deadline for the reinstatement of the democratic government in Niger State have elapsed. And what next for Ecowas? What next? What is the next approach? Of course, as the ball is on the court of Ecowas now, the world is watching their steps and actions.
Well, good morning, viewers. From my own point of view, what I'm thinking is that we should go there. They've made you the leader of an ECOWAS, and you should make sure you lead them well. Because there are many problems in Nigeria, we've not solved it. We are still going out there to do other things, fighting. Let us settle the ones in Nigeria before we should go out to make sure we settle them. And you have to become a great leader. Carry along every other president and every other countries along. Listen to them. That's how a leader does.
That is how a leader does. Mali, Burkina Faso have declared allegiance to Niger Republic because they stated that one of the reasons why the government was toppled is that the president have served 2 terms in office and amended the constitution to remain perpetuate itself within the corridor of power, which is contrary to the wish of the people. And the brilliant and intelligent and smart military personnel needed to redeem the image of the country and salvage their own people. And as such, of course, they have to set aside those democratic processes because it has not favored not even any Nigerian. Just as what we are experiencing in Nigeria is democracy in Africa a cost to Africa.
Well, thank you very much for this type of question you've posed on me. I personally want to make sure I respond well. And it goes this way. If the former president, democratic president, is doing well, they will not force him out. From my own point of view, if he's doing well, they will leave him to continue because they are enjoying. Everybody, the country is in a good order. If they want it like that, let it go. But for the government to come, I don't know their constitution over there. I don't know. We have the right types of constitution in every country. But left to me, if it is the wishes of the people, or if it is the wish of people to end up to leave that man there, let them leave him to continue. Then after the term, they conduct another election. I don't know their constitution, but left to the people of that country, they said they want it. That's all. Thank you.
They said they want the military person leader there because the democratic president has failed them. Their life become more miserable, and the poverty is their second name in Niger Republic. And that is quite unfortunate, as we have in Nigeria over 133 million that are multi-dimensionally poor. So what do you think could be the way forward for Nigerian government?
For Nigerian government is to bring everybody together and dialogue and talk to them so that every other president will contribute before you take your decision as the leader of ECOWAS.
On the final note this morning, yes, is ECOWAS playing a role of supervisory over the African states? Because if there is intimidation and deprivation of fundamental rights and dividend of democracy to different African states, wouldn't ECOWAS come to caution the government rather than keeping quiet? People are suffering. Even the EU, African Union, AU, what are they doing? What is their primary function or oversight? And now they are calling for war when the people have been crying, shouting of marginalization, deprivation by the democratic government, and yet they refuse to act on just to be singing, fanning an amber of war at this time. Isn't that a waste of time?
Well, left to me, it lies in the hands of the leaders of ECOWAS. Presently, the president leader of ECOWAS should call an urgent meeting to make sure They talk to them, they dialogue, they bring them, they come together and make peace. That's the only way everything can be solved. Bringing war, you want to go and fight today, if they have experienced war, my brother, nobody's praying for war. War is very bad.
Especially this conventional war.
This conventional war.
What I'm trying external war, not just within this state conflict.
Like Russia, I heard something yesterday that Russia, they are backing them up. A lot of people, they want to come and destroy Africa. They should please leave us alone and lead well. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful time having you here. The Ecowas deadline for the reinstatement of the ousted president of Niger Republic, who was seeking for third term in governance, but was, of course, ousted and booted out of office by consigned military personnel who are interested in the welfare of the people and the rule of law. Now, ECOWAS have given an ultimatum for him to be restored, and the deadline have elapsed. So, and Buhari is consulting the northern governors who share borders, porous borders in the north, to be vigilant and mount up of some surveillance. What do you think might possibly happen?
Anyway, good morning. We don't need war now. We don't need war. What we need peace. Tinubu just came into office, it's not up to too much. The first thing, that's Nigeria, hardship, and so many things which we are not expecting. And they want to go for war, which expensive, what someone said doesn't have money. Do you know how much you are going to spend for weapons? First of all, why don't you look at your own country first? Make your country happy. If your country is not happy with you, you lose the war. He has lost the war already. Somebody, your matter is in court. Look at the shameful thing he's giving us. He's making Niger people to laugh at us, telling us that Nigeria is too mumu. Somebody that doesn't win the election and is coming to come and fight them. And don't forget that Niger, we have a close border to Nigeria. Half of the north, like Sokoto, Niger, Borno, Adamawa, more than 9 states. In fact, half of them, they are Nigerians. So are you going to fight their brothers? You think they will sit and allow you to fight them? No. They have sent a signal that Tinubu should not try it. Look inward, look your own eyes before you go to fight Assad. And moreover, where is the weapon? We don't have weapon. Our army are distressed. They are in everywhere. Even they cannot even battle Boko Haram. It was in Chad that came to help them. People are angry.
Yes, you are right.
If you fight the eastern side, they say they are not Nigeria. You don't treat them as Nigeria. You have to be united to fight. If you don't unite, how's that divide cannot stand?
You have raised an important point here. Yes, Niger and Mali was in collaboration with Nigeria to make sure that they decimate Boko Haram. And now that they have destroyed that bilateral relationship, and don't you think it portends a great danger for Nigeria? If they say now our hands are up, whatever happens to Nigeria, especially the northern borders states, it is up to Nigeria because of this diplomatic breach.
Before you know, Boko Haram will rise up again and bandit. Don't forget we are still fighting with bandits, and they are coming from that area, the angle. And our borders are so poor. We have to be leaking to our country. But what I want to say is that Tinubu is very careful before they put him out of office. He has not even sit down. He has not formed a cabinet. He wants to go and fight war. Don't forget, that war is between NATO and Russia. Western world and Russia. That is it. France and Russia.
I mean the
This war.
Niger war
Yes.
should be between
It's between,
the world powers.
Yes, because this is the way they pull out, push out France out. So push France out. So you want to go and fight. It's not between Nigeria. It's between France and Russia.
If I may ask, what is the peculiar interest of Nigeria in that war? Is it just because Tinubu is the president of Ecowas, or is there any different interest that Nigeria want to protect?
They gave him Ecowas chairman, so they want to show that he's in charge, but doesn't know that he's going to flop because Buhari too is from Niger. All this half of the northern elite, they are from that place. Don't forget Buhari took our train to that area.
Yes, he made several investments.
They already are bullying Tinubu. Say Tinubu is a bulabo. It's a sickler. It's Ebola. Tinubu Ebola. So they already calling him such a name. Man should go arrest and concentrate on the Nigeria's electorate who are still yearning that they don't win election. First court, allow court to finish. Let him form a cabinet. Nigeria are not happy with it. We're already fighting war with him. We're already fighting war. He's fighting war with Nigeria. So you leave Nigeria to still go and fight Nigeria. But let him and the Yoruba people go and fight. Not the South African State. I am not going to support that war.
Finally, African leaders seems to be selfish. A man who has served 2 tenures wants to go back for the 3rd time, amending the constitution for his own selfish interest. Now, what is the role of Ecowas in ensuring that there is good governance and democratic process in the whole Africa? Ecowas, African Union, they are watching their own citizens in Africa dying of hunger, mismanagement on the part of the political elites and rulers, and yet they kept quiet until disaster looms. How can you be, ignoring critical issues of great concern until disaster looms? Almost virtually all the African countries are poor, regardless of the comparative advantage in terms of natural resources. They have relative abundance of these natural resources, which have been, of course, been exploited by Western worlds, Western powers, and yet African Union, Ecowas are not addressing those issues, and only to come to, of course, find an ember of war against Niger, who are protecting the local interests against foreign invasions of France and other interested Western world.
Africa Union leaders are corrupt. They are corrupt. This is creation of Africa Leaders Forum. Have you seen many things they are doing? Tomorrow they will close border. Next tomorrow, somebody will spend all the years they want to continue again. So have you seen many things they create in Africa? No, nothing like that. All they know is trap power. Gaddafi, see how he's gone. A lot of them like that. So only Mandela, I see, came and fought and won the war and retired. Other ones, they want to go 3rd time, 4th time. Thank God for the people who are resisting that no. And anyway, I didn't blame them because the Western world are supporting most of them. But let me tell you, the way it's going, no way to look at fight. They are going to do restoration and peaceful way. But the military have taken over, they have taken over, left for the military to, and their people are supporting them to nothing they could do. The only thing is that Tinubu should put it out in order. That's what the old Nigerians are saying. Things are very expensive. Tinubu is fighting in Nigeria already. So after Nigeria, you go and fight in Nigeria. Please, let those who are listening to talk to him and advise him to go and make sure Nigerians are happy with him. Or else, you lose the war. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lucky, for your wonderful submission this morning. We do appreciate your time. Yeah, good morning. It's a pleasure welcoming you. The ECOWAS deadline for restoration of the president, ousted president of Niger, have expired. And Tinubu is making some move consulting the northern states that shares borders with Nigerians, to be on alert Could it be an end of the bilateral relationship with Nigeria? Of course, it has been severed. Niger State have broken that agreement of bilateral relationship. Will they invade the northern hemisphere? Are we anticipating such to happen?
Good morning, my good people outside the country and the good ones in Nigeria. What I'm trying to bring out is that Nigeria never gets a president. The president to be, Nigeria knows him and knows Nigerians. We never get anything like a president. A president that we have never even covered himself. We are trying to go and cover another people.
I think you stand to be corrected. We have the 16th president of Nigeria, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, GSF, who is occupying the Abuja seat of power. So there is no vacancy in the president as it stands now, as pending, of course, the outcome of the judicial litigation that is we await.
My brother, let me tell you the truth. Olasuwaju Ahmed Tinubu is a CONCO member, is a sit-down. He look, it's what he is. He don't know what to do. He made himself a president of a family. He's not a president of Nigeria. They have nothing to offer for Nigeria or offer Nigerians. See, somebody that in house is burning, you leave your house, go another person's house, you possess a rat. You're not a president. You're not supposed to call a leader. A leader leads by example. Olasuwaju Ahmed Tinubu, so called himself. Nobody knows him in Nigeria, in the country.
Already Nigeria is at war, economic war, because the economic, would I use the word disaster? Because as you rightly said, that somebody was crying because of hunger, an adult. You can imagine who have not eaten for. Just can you tell us the brief of the story?
Thank you.
Just in 30 seconds.
I will tell you. See, what makes the woman to be hungry is the condition of the country. Because if the country is okay, woman will not be hungry. Since yesterday till this morning, elderly woman never eats to the extent they fell down on the road, of which I'm the eyewitness. It's the one lady that picked the woman up. She called me. We pick her up. The woman have to go and buy bread and akra. Come and give the woman. Buy mineral.
What was the woman's problem? Is this sickness or what?
It's not sickness, it's hunger. The woman never, he said that he never eats since yesterday and he can never be well with Olasuwaju Ahmed Tinubu. It's what the woman said. He said it's a Yoruba woman, but Tinubu can never see well. Him and his family can never see better thing for their life. It's what the woman is saying.
Are you sure he never voted for Tinubu, or what exactly is her interest in that case? So what happens to the woman at the end?
The woman, as we wake her up, the other lady goes bring chair. He sit down for the chair. He started abusing Tinubu. So he can never occur well with him, in the sense that he never, such a thing never happened for her.
She have never suffered such hunger before.
Yes, he said
in the history of his life.
Yes, even the time of Buhari, he said he never suffered. He said it's sinful. But now his children is working like elephant. They have not seen money to give her again. That is why he won't go where her daughter married for Mole Estate. He fell down for Baki.
That is just the experience of millions, or one out of millions of Nigerians who are dying of hunger on daily basis and unfortunately have no place to run to. How are you surviving this situation?
I'm surviving by this situation by my people selling garri. I can meet them, tell them that I want to drink garri, and I don't have money to pay you. Or if they cook food, I will eat it for there. They will give me food. At times they will say, "I go drink cocoa." It's how I'm surviving. Tinubu tenure is the hardest tenure where I never see since where I was born.
But you have asked for Nigerians to give him time because it's just barely 2 months. Do you expect any difference from that?
That man not supposed to even give any seconds to rule Nigeria, because Nigeria is dying and delinquenting every day. If you're a good leader, your sanity will be a slogan. But in a sense that Tinubu is not reading well, his sanity can never be his slogan. But his family must suffer it.
Well, let's limit that to his office, and we hope. Don't you think that going to war might solve the problem fighting Niger Republic at this time? Because
can you be a hungry man? You carry gun go war. You never charity start at home. You can never leave your family on hunger go dey fight war. What if the war bounce back for you? What will you do? Your people is crying every day. You are not after them. You want to go fight war for other country. You never maintain yourself. You never bath yourself. You want to go and bath for another person. You have to bath yourself. Before you do something, you have to encourage yourself. Before you encourage another person. Say this thing you are doing is not good. He's trying to go and tell another country president that what he's doing is not good.
Honestly, it's been a wonderful time. I will wrap this up with a popular saying by Pluto. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. That becomes a reality as far as Nigeria is concerned. Virtually everyone within this contraption is not finding it difficult to survive, to live. Survival becomes the priority of an average Nigerians as it stands now. Things are getting out of hand and people are starving and collapsing because of hunger. Who shall save us from this calamity, and how soon shall that be? It becomes an endless territory. It's been a wonderful time being here with you, Mr. Lazarus. Thank you for your submission thank you for your time. Your final message to Nigerians.
My final message is that Nigerians should be careful. But what is disturbing me personally is that when they bring one cup of rice, one maggi, give them, they will start talking anyhow. But they will, even though if you talk, they will tell you that is the best person. But when they see you when you are eating, they will begging you for 50 naira. Those people that are supporting bad thing, the evil must go for evil. The good must go for the good ones. Because whatever that you did, you must receive it in life. The olden days, they speak in Bible, say that the evil men do live after them. But my prayer, let the evil men too live before them, so that their children can never suffer on it.
Thank you so much once again. We do appreciate you. And to esteemed fans, you've heard, of course, the unbiased reportage of events as is the hot here in Nigeria. This is direct impulse of the masses, and the feelings could no longer be faked, could no longer be denied. The reality on ground. Thank you once again, Mr. Lazarus. Do have a great day. We hope that God will show us mercy and we find the solace in His infinite grace and mercy. Thank you once again. Yes, and the leader of Ecowas should also reconsider his position at this particular precarious moment we are in, because nobody is safe, especially the northern hemisphere. Could be pre-exposed to all manner of invasion, and terrorism might increase. So the president of Nigeria, who presides as the ECOWAS president, should apply caution at this time, because it is not just about executing the war. You might possibly win the war and lose the peace permanently, and that will not, of course, be in the interests of the northern people, because we have more than close to, if not more than 2,000 porous borders across the northern hemisphere, which is a potential threat. And these guys who are determined and adamant, of course, might push. And you know what that means, what Nigerians have been suffering from in the hands of Boko Haram, herdsmen, militias, and of course the so-called bandits have ransacked and devastated the entire economy and societal activities within the north, and this would just aggravate the entire situation. Most Nigerians in the north are living in IDPs, concentrated camps, internally displaced persons, and if this should happen, where will they run to? Of course, would they take scurry for safety in Niger Republic, in Mali, or in Burkina Faso? We are in a worse dilemma, and I hope the government and anybody concerned should apply wisdom, because wisdom now is the principal thing. If we fail to apply such, well, we may have, of course, to blame ourselves, and of course the government will bring unimaginable disaster and the frustration, if not death, to the populace of this country, who are innocent of whatever is happening. We should, of course, mind our own concerns within the Nigerian territorial integrity. We are suffering economic insecurity, security to lives and property, and other vices are at the more pronounced level at this time. Who shall save us from this destruction becomes an endless rhetoric. It's been a wonderful time, of course, listening to Core Web TV. Wherever you might be watching us, once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Please kindly hit the subscription button for our returning subscribers. Thank you for being there for us. And we wish you a very fantastic day and week ahead. I remain Chigas and the host anchor, bringing your way unbiased reportage of events as in the heart, keeping it real has been our commitment. Bye for now.